Hello, HyddenWell farmers. Good to see you this evening. I have a story that I'd like to tell you from my veterinary school days when I was in the large animal clinic at Auburn University. But before I tell this story, I would like for Miss Susan to come join me if she would. Hi, Miss Susan.
Hi, Keaton.
How you doing today?
StoryTime.
Thank you. How come you're talking like a ventriloquist?
I don't really know. It's just the only voice I got.
Well, I'm glad that you're here with Storytime. Do you remember when I was doing large animal rotations back at Auburn University?
Yes, I do. I missed you all the time. You was gone, hanging out with all them animals.
Miss Susan, I think you're going to have to go way over there.
Okay, whatever you say.
I was at the large animal clinic there at Auburn University. Dr. Gates Riddell was the large animal professor that was there at the time. And we had gathered around this dairy cow. And this particular round, we were doing rounds and stuff, but we had all gathered for the class today. The particular subject that we were studying was liver biopsies in cattle. I mean, I didn't even know there was such a thing. I have an animal science degree, and I never even knew that you could do a liver biopsy in a cow while they were awake with just local anesthesia. So I mean, this was some fascinating, brand new stuff that I had been in veterinary school and for like 3.5 years, and I had come through my animal science degree. I had worked for all sorts of labs in the University of Auburn. I had never seen a liver biopsy. I did not know that. So we were all gathered in. I can't remember how many was in our group. It was 7 or 8. And Dr. Riddell was down, and we prepped the cow, and he was down on his knees, and he was showing us the ribs and how to count. I mean, he was such an excellent teacher. He really was. He was so well educated, but he was so good at conveying that education as well along to the students, and I'm just tickled to death and proud that I had him as a student. And so he come back with us and had begun this liver biopsy, and he was down on his knees, and he was showing us the right anatomical parts to put this together so we could do it. And so after he shaved and he prepped and he lidocaine and got all that stuff set up, he brought out a biopsy tool that is made for liver biopsies in cattle. And it's about this long. And it has a stylet and a sharp end to it. It's made out of stainless steel. And all along this thing, it's got cutouts. It's like if you took a long tube and you just made like small incisions all the way along it and cut out little sections. That's what this thing was like, but each one of those sections was razor sharp on the end of it. So what he did is very gently and meticulously, he took the stylet, the probe, the biopsy tool, and he inserted it. Of course, now this was done with very mild sedation and a local anesthetic, okay? He's up underneath this 1,500 animal, and he's got this thing, and we are all of us students, man, we were all just snug tight in on this procedure. I mean, we were all right there. I mean, this would definitely not make COVID social distancing. I mean, we were on top of each other watching him do this procedure. And he slid the biopsy needle in quite perfectly. And then you take the stylet out, and then you turn it, and it will take a sample, a core biopsy sample of the liver for you, okay? And then you slowly just remove it, okay? This is where my ignorance always comes into play, because I've had to learn to be more quiet and to say less things. I don't know if it's my upbringing, my nature, my blood, I don't know, but some things just spill out of my mouth and I didn't even know I said them. They just, you know, you think it and the mouth just runs. Everybody's quiet. And we're around this cow in this big professional setting and stuff. And he pulls this beautiful liver biopsy out, okay? And it's in this tube and it's all this kind of stuff. And he's pulling it out and he says, yes, this is going to be a really nice biopsy. You know, and he's looking and it's super quiet. I mean, it's just everybody's watching as he takes this out. Will the cow bleed to death? Will it start squirting blood? Will she start? I mean, there's a million kind of questions coming out as he's taking this biopsy tool out of the cow. And in a really low voice, in this really awkward setting, I said, well, Dr. Gates, is that a beautiful liver biopsy, or are you just happy to see me? There was total silence. And then just a minute, Dr. Riddell turned around and he looked at me. And I've never forgot these words. He goes, Keaton, what is wrong with you? And of course, I was like, I have no idea, and I'm so sorry. Everybody burst out laughing. I mean, everybody just started going crazy. And, oh my goodness. We got the liver biopsy out, and he showed us how to put it into the proper specimen things to collect it, because some of them you can just go ahead and slide them down into a different tube, and that's good enough to submit to the lab. Some of them you have to transfer to other media, depending on what kind of tests and things that you're wanting to run. And everybody was just like all day. They were telling that story all at the veterinary school. You know what Keaton said today? Hey, Susan.
Hey, what?
You remember when I come home and told you about the liver biopsy?
No, I really don't.
Oh, come on. You've got to remember.
No, I really don't.
Well, if you'd have been there and I would have had said, that's a really nice liver biopsy, or are you just happy to see me, what would you have done? That's so stupid. You're probably wondering right now, what's wrong with you? Good night.